Greetings, traveler. My name is TheAdipose, and you're watching The Adipose.
Let me tell you my tale. My name is Corporal T.A.Pose, and I'm a soldier here at Noshahr Canals. For the next 10 minutes, it's going to be my job to get you ready for action in the Team Deathmatch. I'm going to be telling you where to go. I'm going to be telling you how to find cover. I'm going to be telling you some of the little hints and tips that I've learned during my time here at the Noshahr Canals, and then you are going to go out and win the war. Good luck, soldier. First things first, you've got to learn the battlefield. And this is it. This is possibly the smallest battlefield I have ever been on. It is a square. Can't be more than a third of a kilometre across. It goes from this elevated train line in front of me here to the canal just over there, to the sea at the back, to just behind these red containers over there. And that is it. That is the entire map. Now, the obvious place for you to try and get yourself is up here on this elevated train line, because if you're up there, you can try and shoot down onto the containers below. It is a good place to be. However, there's a lot more to this map than simply getting up there, and I want to talk about all the places that I've learned to hide in my experiences on this battlefield. Now, if you're the kind of player that likes it up close and personal, if you're the kind of soldier that likes to use shotguns and assault rifles, then get yourself in and amongst the containers. It's a roughly figure of 8 design. Some of the containers you can go inside, some of them you can't. But if you're going to get in there, don't go in with a machine gun, don't go in with a sniper rifle, don't go in with a pistol. You need a shotgun, a fast loading one, or you need an assault rifle, preferably one with a fast fire range, because that is going to lead you to victory inside these containers. But of course, not all soldiers will come into the containers, so you need to bring the right guns for what you want to use. Snipers can be very effective on this map, but if you're going to play as a sniper, stay down to the edges of the map, don't get into the containers. Likewise, if you're going to play as a shotgun player, don't stay to the edges, get into the middle and get into some cover. Well, let's go and explore the map that I have been fighting on for these last couple of months. If I just hop down here, there's a few buildings around, there's a few containers around the edges, there's a few trucks, but be careful, because you not only can you see round certain objects, some of them you can also see under as well, and I'll be coming on to that a bit later. But let's head back up to that elevated train line that I mentioned earlier. From up here you can see down onto a huge amount of the map, and that wonderful little stone wall there is your friend, because it will cover most of your body. And if I look behind me here, I can see my head is approximately level with just below those red letters, and if I hop down and look back up, you can see that the red letters are relatively low there, so that means that only my head is going to be visible, so it's going to take a very good gunman indeed, or unfortunately a sniper, to take me down. The other wonderful thing about this little wall here is if you start to take fire, if you start to get knocked down, you just got to flatten yourself to the floor, chuck a health pack out, hide here until your health gets up to 100%, crawl out the way maybe, and you should be fine. Just look out for people on the crane, because they can actually see over that wall just about. Also at the top here, you can hop onto quite a number of these, I guess we call them like the train carriage sections, and you can lay on them and fire off them. There's one on the far right there, there's one here in the middle, and this one's got an added bonus of you being able to kind of hide around the side and have a bit of standing fire as well. And then as we go along the map, you'll see that there's a number of entrances. These are all good places to fire from, but because it's team deathmatch, don't stay in one place for long. Sit down, get a kill, maybe two, and then move. Why? Because there's now one or maybe two people that know where you are. This is a great place to sit though, because not only can you see down, you can also see that far distant kind of barrier where lots of people like to stick their heads, and you can kind of snipe them back here. Not many people come up to this back area here. It's mainly used as a spawn point, but it is a good place to hide if you want to maybe use a MAV, or you need to recharge health, or something like that. It's a fairly empty area right at the back, but here on the other side of the train is where you're going to snipe down. But there's an interesting feature here, because when you are this close to the wall, people that are at the top can't really see you because you're actually blocked by the wall itself, and that means if you're running up these stairs, you're practically invisible to the people that are at the top. The only thing you've got to make sure is that when you run up the stairs, you kind of look the right way. So use your mini-map, see where they're firing from, make the call about whether to look left or right first, because if you look the wrong way, you're probably dead, but if you look the right way, you probably have the jump on them. It's a good place to go. Other places to snipe from, you can see all the way down this big long channel here. You can duck behind here and you're fairly well protected, although lots of people will spot you if you get here. Same on this side. You can shoot down the channel again. You can kind of crawl back behind it and then stick your head out so there's less of you exposed, but lots of people run down that particular walkway, so you're fairly guaranteed to get a kill or two, but as soon as you're spotted, you're in trouble, and then you've got to move. You can shoot from up here, but you are more exposed if you do so, and of course your head's pointing forward, and that means that people are more likely to get a headshot on you. If you want to be extra sneaky, you can come all the way over to the very edge of the map here and shoot across this side. This has the added advantage of being able to see the base of the crane and back into the container section as well, but you are exposed. So although it's a nice sneaky place to go, as soon as you are seen, get out of there, because you are in trouble. Now, if you want to get up onto this elevated train section, as well as the stairs at the front, there is this back entrance here, which is a good place to get up behind people, maybe knife a few snipers, maybe run round, blast a few people from the back. If I was trying to do an assault on the elevated train line, I would either run up a stair line very, very quickly, but probably 8 times out of 10 I would take that side route and run around to the left. This is quite a good place to snipe back up onto the elevated train line from. If you get rid of the barriers there, and after a few grenades they'll be gone anyway, but you can actually snipe back up, because from this point here only your head is exposed. The other fantastic place to snipe back from is right down here on the canal, because if you duck down like that and back up, thinking about it, if you can only just see over this wall, then only your head is going to be exposed to any of the enemy there. You can of course swim round. And now, whilst you can't shoot when you're swimming, and if you're spotted, you're dead, but you're not. People won't expect you to be down there. So if you need to get past a few people, swimming can sometimes work well. If you're going to run past the barrier, make sure you check that point up there, and then run up here for the assault. Check to the right, check to the left. But another way up here, if you want to make sure you're particularly guarded, is to sprint outside the zone. If you sprint all the way past this rock, all the way past this building, there's a little open door, whoops, and you can duck down there, maybe recharge some ammo, take a look around, because people will not expect you to be there, and they won't know how you've got there. So that's a little run I do quite a lot when running around Noshahr Canals. Additionally, there's another little tip for sniping back out of these lower sections, and that's using the light sources when you're down here. You see how my gun is really light there, and then it's dark when I step back into the shadow. If you stand here, your entire body is pretty much black, especially if you wear that, is it the Spec Ops costume? I love wearing that one on the battlefield, because when you step into shadow, you really can't be seen. And there's a few places back here where you can really just stand in this shadow, look up at places where you think you'd be fully exposed, and they won't see you. Until you start firing. But if you can get those crucial few shots off, you'd be surprised how many times you can take someone down before they even know that you are there. Let me show you these in action. Sprinting towards the stairs. Remember, they can't see you because of the lip of the stair. Check the mini-map. The guy's on my left. Jump over the border. And bang, bang, bang. He is dead. Here's the shadow trick. The gun is black. Your body is black. They can't see you. Quickly counter sniper or assault rifle back up there. And then move, because as soon as you fire, then they know where you are. Now, unfortunately, this round, very sad to say that my army lost. It was a devastatingly tough time. But I just want to have a little look at these scores in more detail, because what you've got to remember about Team Deathmatch is the fact that it is all about getting more kills than deaths. Your KD is the core of Team Deathmatch. And if we look at some of these scores in a bit more detail, you'll see that some of these players aren't as good as they first appear. Myself and the gentleman above me on the US side, we are sitting on currently, we've got kills of about 40-ish, we've got deaths of about kind of the late 20s, which gives us as a total score plus 10, plus 12, plus 13, we're kind of around there. That's our score, really. It's not the how many kills, it's not how many deaths, it's the difference between the kills and the deaths to the positive side. That's what you need in Team Deathmatch mode. Now, you are going to die. There is no mistaking the fact that you are going to die in Deathmatch mode, but you've got to try and reduce those deaths by keeping in places where you're less likely to get killed, keeping on the move, using the techniques I've suggested. And if we have a look at the other team side in a bit more detail, you'll see there's actually quite a lot of players who are actually a negative drain on their team, although it might look like they have quite a lot of kills. If their deaths are higher than their kills, then that means that they've scored more for our team effectively than they have for their own. And even their best player, who has 50 kills, in fact, is only plus 7 once you take his deaths into account. So keep on the move, keep hidden, keep shooting, and aim for trying to get maybe 2 kills for every single death, and then by the end of the match you are going to be an extremely positive influence on your team's score. I started my video diary with this, and I'll say it again. Know the map, know the map, know the map. It is worth your time just loading up a completely empty version of this map and exploring it, because there are quite a few little kind of shooting avenues that you wouldn't know about. How about this one? Duck under a truck, you can see into the containers, fire away, get a few extra kills. As long as your team is behind you, it's a relatively safe place to sit, as long as you keep on the move. And there are quite a few of them that you wouldn't know were there. Remember, only enter the containers if you've got a gun that can handle it. No snipers here, please, or slow machine guns. There's shadows in the containers as well. Use them. It will take them an extra second to see you there, which means you can heal up and maybe get the jump on them. What about the minimap? I haven't mentioned the minimap in Team Deathmatch much, but it is so important. Look at this freeze frame here. I'm running forward, and I would normally probably keep to the left-hand side and then turn right. However, because I peeked at the minimap, there's a little orange triangle. And because I saw that, and because the orange triangle tells you which way they're facing, and because I know the map, I can then adjust my route accordingly, sneak behind, and go for a knife kill or maybe an assault rifle. But if I hadn't have looked at the map, and if I didn't know the map, I wouldn't have been able to do that, and I probably would have been killed. Look at these white little crates here. These are brilliant. If you can get up close to them and shoot over them, you can actually, you're only exposing your head, and you can actually see quite a lot of other things, and it works really well until someone does the same technique back to you. Let me show you the same thing again. You run forward, you keep your gun at your head height. If you can shoot over it, you'll get their head. They can't really get you unless they are a very, very good shot. You can duck behind it, you can use your health, and you can see down several other channels, and you can pick off other players as they run in. Don't stay there too long, because now you've got 2 or 3 people that know where you are, but there's quite a few little places around here where you can just keep your head out over the top using the minimap and keep yourself relatively covered for a few kills. And remember, you only need a few kills to be a positive influence on your team. If you get 3 kills, 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills before you die, your end score will be fantastic and your team will be thanking you. If you just run in really fast with shotguns into dangerous places, your KD will probably end up being 1-to-1 or even worse. So keep yourself protected. And that was my tale. I'm Corporal T.A.Pose, and I'm a medic here at the Noshahr Canals. And now, it's your turn. You go rule the battlefield, because I've been reassigned. I'll see you with a new tale real soon.